Hey y'all, Melissa here at Twin Oaks Family Farm in Southeast Ohio, USA. Thank you so much for joining us. It's April 15th, 2025. It's tax day in the United States of America. Thank goodness ours are already done. We've got that off of our minds, off of our checklist. Today on our show, we're not talking about taxes, we're talking about chickens. That's always fun, great sign of spring, and a great source of some food security if you choose to keep some backyard chickens. I want to show you the spring chicks for 2025 that we got from a hatchery in March and that are now about 6 weeks old, I believe. Going to tell you the different breeds we have, a little bit about each breed, and the number one reason that we selected the breeds that we did. I've been out here checking on the older hens. We've got a nice collection of eggs there. Those are sold going to a customer, but let's go over to the grower shed where our little egg production pullets are right now. So we have a great group of spring chickens for 2025. They're currently in their own grower space that's probably about 12 foot by 12 foot, maybe a little bit bigger floor space. This has previously been a hen house, so it already has some accessories for hens like the nest boxes, and these birds are big enough that we can have their water and their feeder elevated up off of the floor a little bit. We give them a little bit of an outside space so they can get out into the sunlight and the fresh air, but we still want to be very, very protective of these birds. So I want to tell you what kind of birds we have here. So basically we've got 19 birds in a variety of about 4 different breeds. Let's see, is it 4 breeds? So overall, let me tell you what we've got. We've got lavender Orpingtons, chocolate Orpingtons, barred rocks, and silver lace Wyandotte. And then we have some additional chickens that are probably Orpington variety. Could be a variety, could be black, could be blue. So we'll have some different variety in the Orpingtons as these birds mature. As I said, they are 6 weeks old. This group was hatched March 5th, 2025, and as we're recording, it's April 15th, 2025. They were all ordered as females, which in chicken terms we call pullets, but we do think, I don't know if y'all have caught notice of the one yet, there's one in the screen now that we do think is probably a rooster. And honestly, to order even the 12, we ordered 12 pullets and then had 7 pullets gifted to us from some friends in with this group. So in a group of 19 that are supposed to be pullets, to only have one that is giving you question if you've got a rooster is actually pretty good numbers. Quite frequently when you request pullets, you end up with some roosters. So let's start telling you about the gals. So this is an example of a barred rock. So there should be, I think, 4 of them. There's another, these 2. Those are both barred rocks, okay? So barred rocks, they are an American breed of chicken developed in the New England area in the mid-1800s. So they're considered a heritage breed, meaning like genetic lineage that's been maintained over decades and decades and decades. So they would have been bred originally from chickens called Dominiques and chickens called Black Javas. So as such, I mentioned their heritage, but also they have genetics to basically be dual purpose breeds, meaning we can keep them for egg production, but you could theoretically keep them and let them mature to a point of being useful for harvesting for meat production. These birds are known to have a calm, friendly, docile temperament. In terms of egg production, we've not had barred rocks before, but I've been told that up to about 250 eggs annually once they've reached the point of lay are in egg production. So these would be considered very, very good layers. I've not had them. I'm presuming that we're going to be getting a brown egg from them. I'm also presuming they probably begin laying around 5 to 6 months. So we will see. I'll be learning firsthand on that. So there's the barred rocks. Let's talk about the one that just ran there. So a little splashier, a little harder. This one right here is a good example. The white and black one. It's going to be a little harder for me to keep them in the camera because I find they tend to be a little flightier from me at this point. But they are silver-laced Wyandottes, and they're also very interesting. There's one. They're also very interesting. They are a North American breed developed in probably the New England areas and around Ontario, Canada. And silver-laced Wyandottes are interesting. There's a couple in the camera right there. They're going to be beautiful. It's fun to watch them feathering out. But they would have originated from like the 1870s. And I said the silver-laced Wyandottes are interesting because there are a variety of colors of Wyandottes, but silver-laced Wyandottes were the first recognized color variety of Wyandottes. So they were actually, that color, silver-laced Wyandotte, was actually accepted into the American Poultry Association as a recognized color in 1883. That's pretty interesting. Their namesake, so right there, the silver-laced Wyandotte is out furthest away, and then that other multicolored one closest to us is a barred rock. So, but wanted to mention the namesake of the Wyandotte breed in general is the Native American tribe, the Wyandottes. So we should expect our Wyandottes, I think I might have mentioned, to lay about 260 eggs a year, up to that. So that's a good egg layer. That's a good egg layer. We have not had a silver-laced Wyandotte previously either, so we'll be learning in real time with those. So everybody else in the pen should be an Orpington. Here's a good mixture of them. I'd say this one closest to us is probably a blue Orpington, behind it a chocolate, then a lavender, and I believe a black Orpington over at the water dispenser. So Orpingtons are pretty cool. Orpingtons are also a heritage breed, and they were developed actually in England. So Orpingtons are fairly heavy bodied, large chickens. The hens could get up to about 14 pounds. The roosters could get up to about 15 pounds. That would probably be the extreme of their size. What else we want to talk about with them? In general, we might expect Orpingtons. There's a couple of chocolate ones, and then a lavender one back at the water. So in general, we might expect Orpingtons to lay about 200 eggs annually. Contrasting, say, the chocolate Orpingtons might lay as low as 120 eggs annually, though, whereas our lavender Orpington back there, we would expect no less than 175 eggs from her over the course of a year. These birds, Orpingtons, are also known for having calm, docile temperaments and being friendly birds. And there are actually multiple colors of Orpingtons. Some of them are recognized by the American Poultry Association, and some of them are not. And so that is interesting. So actually, the only Orpington colors recognized by the American Poultry Association are black, blue, buff, and white, as far as I know. So lavenders, like there's 3 there, they are not recognized by the American Poultry Association, the coloring. Chocolate Orpington, not a recognized color. And it's also interesting to note, when you breed Orpingtons, when you pair them, you have to be mindful of the genetics with the colors if you're trying to get specific colors. Now, for example, a lavender bred to a lavender will breed true, but a blue Orpington bred to blue Orpingtons will not necessarily breed true. It turns out the blue Orpingtons, and I honestly do think this one right here is a blue Orpington. Blue is actually a diluted version, diluted. I hope that came across the screen right, as in like washed out, watered down, not as strong, diluted version of black Orpington, okay? So blue won't necessarily breed true. If you breed blue Orpingtons together, you might get some blue Orpingtons, but not necessarily going to get all blue Orpingtons. If you breed lavenders to lavenders, you'll get lavender. Buff Orpingtons, which we don't have any of in here, they're like a light sand colored. Buff Orpingtons will breed true if you breed buffs to buffs. If you breed black Orpingtons to black Orpingtons, you'll very likely get black Orpingtons. If you breed white Orpingtons to white Orpingtons, again, we don't have any of those here, they will likely breed true. So it's interesting with the color genetics and with Orpingtons. But the Orpingtons in general go back to about the 1800s in England, and the first recognized color, I believe, was the Buff Orpington, which we don't have any here, in 1902. And when I say recognized, I'm referring to recognized by the American Poultry Association. So Buff was recognized in 1902. The next one would have been white, recognized in 1905, as well as black, recognized in 1905, and blue was recognized in 1923. Okay, now I want to tell you about another interesting variation on Orpingtons that we don't have currently. Have had one, and I would like to have again in the future. So once upon a time here at Twin Oaks Family Farm, we looked into a Jubilee Orpington, and I made some notes on the Jubilee Orpington's origin to tell you a little bit about it. So the Jubilee Orpington is a color variety, rare, dates actually back to 1897, and came about from the crossing of a Buff Orpington with a spangled Old English game chicken. And it went back to the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Victoria, and that was the namesake of the Jubilee Orpington. And the best way I can describe it was kind of a spangled feather color pattern of like mahogany, black, and white. Was gorgeous. So I hope one day to get a Jubilee Orpington again, but these were the spring chicks basically that we picked out for 2025. The goal with these is to keep them for egg production for our household. The barred rocks, approaching the camera, all of them seem very friendly. Of all the breeds here, the Wyandottes are the ones that keep their distance the most from us, but they've been very friendly. We are going to be curious to watch that chocolate Orpington right here develop and see if that is in fact a rooster after all. We believe it is because of prominence in the comb and the wattle, and it's developing earlier than the rest of them and has more red to it earlier on. So that may be a little rooster, we'll see, and that's fine with us if it is. But the common thread of all these breeds, couple common threads why we selected these heritage breeds, and calm, docile temperaments. So let us know if you've got chickens. Let us know what breeds would you pick out to assemble your ideal flock, and what traits would you be concentrating on to accomplish that. As I said, we wanted heritage breeds, and we wanted calm, friendly birds. So that's why we selected the breeds that we did. And if I can add some Jubilee Orpington sometime in the future, I definitely want to do that. And then really like out of the ballpark, often in kind of the parameter of the theme we have going here, I also would like to add some ducks to our flock. So maybe this summer, if we do, we're gonna take some videos of it and share it with y'all. But let me know what you think on that little chocolate Orpington. You think we got a rooster? So y'all, thanks for supporting our channel, Twin Oaks Family Farm. We greatly appreciate it. We hope that you have an excellent week.